What's up? What's up, guys? We are back again for yet another one with Danny. We got Anthony with us again tonight, guys. We are talking racism in America and can we do anything about it? And do we think that it'll ever end? Good topic tonight, guys. So, Danny, Anthony, man, this subject on racism. I had a really good video from what's her name, Danny?
Jane Elliott.
Jane Elliott that I wanted to play for you guys, but unfortunately we got some technical difficulties going on here. So we're just gonna talk about it tonight and give you guys our opinion on that. So that's the topic for tonight, guys. And of course we're gonna always start off with the distinguished guest Anthony tonight. So
Thanks,
Anthony,
guys. I appreciate you guys having me on the show.
yeah, no problem,
Right.
brother. No problem. All right, Anthony. Racism. Can we get past it? Do you think we can get past it? What can we do as individuals to get past this thing, if possible?
Honestly, I don't think there's. I think racism's always going to exist, not just in our country, worldwide. I wish it wouldn't because as individuals, I mean, I know myself. I mean, I know you, Marlon. Regular human beings, individuals that we exist. I think we want to get past it, but I think it's just always going to be there. Unfortunately, you have the radicals, the idiots that it's just not gonna, it's just not gonna go away. It's something that's been going on throughout history. From creation of the earth, there's always been racism. Between religions, racists, this and that, and it's something that I think that we as individuals have to get past and move on. But you're always going to have those people that aren't going to be able to get past the racism, or matter of fact, just a little backstory real quick. So I moved here in 1994, I moved to the mainland from Hawaii in 1994. All right, I got a white daddy, I got a mixed mama. All right, we moved to Mississippi in '94. I experienced racism then, but over the years, I just kind of blocked it out. I was like, hey, I know who I am. No matter what room you put me in, the conversations you put me in, I can hold my own. So I just kind of blocked it out. And, Marlon, we had these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I experienced it again for the first time about 3 weeks ago. My son turned 21. I took him out for his birthday, and it was me and my son, who's also, he's also mixed race, and my good friend Matt is a white guy. Well, we went to a few bars here in Murfreesboro, here in Tennessee, and everything's good. Well, my son lives off kind of in the country. Well, there's a little small little redneck bar that he lives by. I was like, hey, buddy, you want to stop by here and have a beer before we get home? He's like, yeah, let's do that. So we walked in, and I was the first one to open the door.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I opened the door, there was a little white lady. She said, we're closed. I said, okay. And there was a little old white man next to her. Well, that's some good old boys. Like, your kind ain't welcome in here. And I said, what the did you just say? Well, luckily, Marlon, you know my boy. He's a big old boy. He snatched me up. He said, Dad, we're not doing this tonight. I was like, all right. And that's the first time in years I've experienced racism. And, over the past couple weeks, I've thought about it. I'm like, yeah. I mean, people probably look at me all the time when I go to the gas station or this and that. Like, oh, you're an illegal. You shouldn't be here. Or blah, blah, blah. Or just get over it. I don't know. I wish we could, but honestly, the short answer, no. I don't think it's ever going to go away. Right. It's sad.
Right. It is sad, man. It is sad. Danny, from somebody who's been in the military for what, 34 years?
32.
32 years. I'm sure, Danny, you have seen a little bit of everything, experienced a little bit of everything. Where do you come at this from, man?
All right. I do see a change, and it's in the one thing that I see. So I've experienced racism from. I've experienced racism. So when I define racism, and just like we were going, if we can get this video, and maybe at a later time we'll play it.
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about racism at the point of, when a class of people or a class of people hold down another class of people for just mainly the reason for, especially in America, the color of our skin. So white people are against black people, and or any other race that's not white, that's not perfectly white skin, non-melanated skin, um, that they hold them down and say that they're not considered, you know, like for so long, the only human beings in North America were, and after they took over from the Indians, the Europeans came over and took over from the Indians. The only people in America, or human beings that were in America, were the white people. So everyone else were considered dogs, or they were considered, the slaves that they had working on the farms. They were dogs. They were less than human. They were not considered a person. So now you come into this where, the 50s, 60s, and 70s, we see a lot of movements. And I'm talking about 1950s, 60s, and 70s. Mm-hmm. We see a lot of movements. I mean, racism is supposed to have ended, in 1870 something? But it really, slavery was supposed to end in 1870 something, but it really didn't. And I might be wrong, don't quote me on that. I have to go look it up. But I do know when, Lincoln, the Emancipation Proclamation, which was supposed to end it, but it didn't end it. And it hasn't changed. But what I've seen, like 50s, 60s, and 70s, that's where black people started becoming more and more considered people. And they started changing things and adding, allowing black people to go to white schools and things like that. But racism has been just, the white people holding down everybody else. So white is considered up here. We are the perfect people, while everyone else is below us. That's racism. And it's institutionalized in America. It's in our schools. It's in the judicial system, which is considered the police and everything like that. It was even in the military. And I experienced it. I got into several race fights while I was in the military. One, and it wasn't, there was only, I think I got into two with people that were actually in the military with me. Other than that, there's been, I got jumped by 3 white guys, and all of us went to the hospital. All of us went into the hospital. I mean, they came out and pulled the bat out, and that bat got used on every single one of them, and all of us went to a hospital. I got a crack in my skull. Sorry, I touched the wrong side, but I got a crack right here from where they hit me. I also got my ribs broken from that bat. But they came in with broken ribs, broken jaws too. So we all went into the hospital.
Right.
They deserved it.
You sure did. And I mean, maybe one day when we get time, I can talk about the whole thing. But that's the end of it. But the funny thing is, when I woke up in that hospital, because when I finally saw that my other friends were safe, because basically they pinned me between 2 cars, and that's when they turned around and jumped me, and I had 2 other friends with me. When I found out they were safe, I passed out. And then everybody was like, man, he was so bloody. We were surprised he was able to run across the way, because we were checking into a hotel in Alabama. And they were surprised that I was able to run across the way after that fight. Because a lot of people in the hotel rooms, everybody saw the fight. They saw how, I was sitting back fending off, 3 white guys that were bigger than me. Mm-hmm. And ended up, they all helped each other get into the car, run off, went to the hospital. We ended up in the same hospital. Just so happened, one of the guys, it was 4 white guys total versus 3 black people, but 3 of the guys jumped me. And one of the guys said, hey, that black guy is the reason why the 2 guys are these 2 guys. So when I woke up in the hospital, I was in handcuffs. And I'm over here, we're doing military training. We're going to field med school when this happened. And I'm, I wake up in handcuffs, and I'm like, my head's all patched up and everything. I'm like, why am I handcuffed to the bed? Well, the extent of the injuries on these 2 guys, they said that you beat them with a bat. And it's like, y'all need to check. And we went on, but it just so happened that they got witness from the hotel. And they was like, no, he defended himself. He got jumped by 3 guys.
Right.
And the other guys that went into the hospital with dislocated jaw, several cracked ribs, and one had a busted nose. I busted his nose in a couple of places, and he also had a crack in his skull. They was like, I did worse to them, which I did to an extent where it sounded. I did do worse to them, but it was a fight because it was white people versus black people. Right. And they just came around. Yeah. And they came around, they were like, this nigga right here is, he said something and we just had to jump. And it's like, I said something, I wasn't even out of the car yet. You were talking to 2 other guys. As soon as I finally emerged out of the car, I'm hit by that.
Yeah.
So, when we're talking about racism, and I just wanted to add that story in, and it's like I've been in several other fights after that. Even when I came back to Charleston, South Carolina, I got into one because this white man was just like, white man just wanted to, he rear-ended the car, but he was like, she's illegal, and this nigga over here should not be doing anything, and then me and him went at it. Because I stopped him and was like, we're calling the police on you. And I was on my bicycle. He almost ran me off the road. The thing is, and what a lot of people experience, just like what Anthony said, is that, someone says, we don't serve your kind here. At the same time, one thing about this shows how institutionalized it is in America is that, black people do not get the chance. We don't have the same opportunities. Still to this day, even though you're going off of qualification, but as long as you still got black, white, other, in the applications of anything you apply for, that's the way that's just kind of like marginalizing the people that are applying for jobs.
Right.
You got the equal right movement where it's like, it's literally, we're in 2025 and it's still, they got to make sure they hire enough black people, enough Latinos, enough, Asians. They got to make sure they hire enough people that are not white.
Right.
Every corporation has to do that. And it's like, if you don't realize, and these for people that say, well, no, racism is dead. It's not dead yet. It's dying, but it's not dead, because as long as you're still marginalizing and you have to hire a certain amount of people, you're not looking at qualifications. You're looking at numbers, you fill quotas and everything like that. And that's the biggest issue that we have going on. What David experienced, I'm sorry, why don't I say David? Anthony, sorry, called you David. I don't know why I got David. I don't know where that came from.
I've been called worse, Dan. Don't worry about it.
But what you experience in going into a bar, and someone saying, hey, we're closed because we don't serve your kind here, it's like, you're able to do that. You're able to just say, no, because of the color of your skin, we don't want you to come here. And a lot of people don't realize it, and I notice it a lot of times, and it's the one thing that I'm like happy that I don't see in Japan, is that when I get on the elevator, and there's a whole bunch of white women on that elevator, one of them always clutches her purse. There's one that always clutches her purse. If not all of them, at least one will clutch her purse. Like, he's a black man, he's gonna steal my purse. Come on. How many purse snatchers have you seen that are just black? I mean, when you sit back and steal, and this is the one thing I even mentioned about that shows that racism is still going on, you got the standard profile of a criminal. 5'10", black male, bald head. Yeah. That's the standard police profile. And my daughter can even attest to it, because she's a sheriff. And it's like, that's the standard police profile. And these are things that we got to get rid of, that we have institutionalized, not just in the American education system, but it's in jobs, it's in the police. It's like, these are all things where, it's dying.
Mm-hmm.
And how do we know it's dying? When Obama went in office, and even before Obama went in office, as things was growing, yeah, you seeing racism, but you see pockets of it here and there. But most of the time, people were quiet. They would sit back and say, I guarantee you, if Trump wasn't in office, Anthony, if Trump wasn't in office, I guarantee you could have walked in that bar. But since he's in office, And what we've seen several times is like the thing that's been dying and is in the corner. It's like a rabid dog. When it gets into a corner, it's going to just fight its way out. Racism is dying. I do see that it is dying. Because a lot of people, there's a generation of people that they basically say, I don't see color. Mm-hmm. Hey, okay, people saying that, come on. You see color. You see the color of your skin. If you can't see color, that means you're colorblind. That means you only see hues of color, or you only see everything in black and white.
Right.
But there is a difference. There is a spectrum that we live in. There's nothing wrong with seeing the color of somebody's skin. It's stopping them from getting the same opportunity that a white person will get. That's the problem that we're stopping. Now, I do see a lot, and I know a lot of white people. They've either educated themselves better, or they were never taught to hate. They were never taught to hate people for the color of their skin or because they look different. There is a difference, and you love that difference. And I see a lot more of that in the world, way more than I see, but I mean, I see it way more in other parts of the world that I've been to than I see in America.
Yeah.
But in America, now that, there's a bigot in office and he's shown himself to be it. I hate saying that, but when you sit back and there's certain things that you say and there's videos about it, it's like once he goes in office and then all the closet racists, the last time he went in office, the closet racists came out the woodworks, and they was just like, "Oh, we're gonna do this to niggers, and we're gonna do that," and it's like they're stopping people from getting jobs and firing a whole group of people. And now, what did he say when he went in office? On January 20th, I'm deporting all the illegals, and then someone had the nerve to call Anthony an illegal, because I heard you say it. They called him an illegal, and it's like, wait a minute, I'm sorry, just because you look at his skin, you can tell that he is or is not an American. How can you tell that? How can you see that off the color of his skin?
You know what, man? I mean, Danny,
I can go on and on. Sorry.
That's how I shoot down, man. I tell you what, Danny. I agree with you on a lot of stuff, man. We agree on a lot of things. But I'm gonna have to agree with Anthony on this one. I don't think racism will ever go away, man. To tell you the honest truth. And then I'm gonna come at this from a different angle than y'all just came at this, because Danny, me and you was talking about this video that we seen about the Walmart situation, right? So I'm gonna come at it from this way right here. And okay, we're talking about racism. I want to get off into mixed relationships for a quick second. First of all, let me say, I do not care if you are a black man, date who you love, white, Chinese, Mexican, other, Vietnamese, whoever you love, date that person, okay? I got nothing wrong with that. What I do have a problem with, though, and I see it a whole lot in that video, Danny, that we was talking about the Walmart situation. Well, let me tell you guys something real fast. Well, it was a situation in a Walmart where it was a white lady and two black girls, and I don't know if it's the what affected. I mean, I don't know what's emboldening some people to use that N-word. Well, she called these two black girls the N-word. Well,
she said, "Bring it, niggers." She just
that's what she said.
Threw her hands up and turned around and looked at him and said, "Bring it, niggers."
Well, needless to say, Anthony, it didn't end too good for that lady.
They brought it to her,
right? And so
and she deserved it.
Yeah, but this the thing, guys. She had a black boyfriend. Okay, this is what I want to get into, and this is what I want to talk to my white lady women friends about. If you're dating a black man, listen, date him. Who cares? That's your prerogative. Do that. But what you have to understand, there is certain things that you cannot say to us what we say to each other.
Right.
Remember that, okay? And this, I see it a lot with younger white women who feel they can say that N word. I mean, just like it's another word out the dictionary that they feel they can throw it around. Let me tell you something. That lady in Walmart, she was comfortable, Danny, with saying that word. And you know what that tells me? She's hanging around black people who's really doing her a disservice. They're really setting her up for a big downfall. And especially black men, listen to me. If you're dating a white woman, do not allow and let her to use the N word around you. Because see what's gonna happen, she may have friends that she can say that around. And nobody says nothing but joke, laugh, hee hee ha ha. But it's always gonna be that one person that she can't say that around. And then it's gonna be a big old problem. And then what after that? Black man, what you gonna do? You're gonna have to go defend your girlfriend, right?
Yep.
You
have to defend your spouse.
And when you do that, some more people gonna jump in on her side. A big old mess. And like I always tell people, trouble is so easy to get into and can take you a lifetime to get out of. So black men, listen to me. Do not let your girlfriends, if she's a white lady, use that N word. It ain't cool. She can't say that around anybody. And if you love that woman like I guess you say you love her, you need to tell her, baby, listen, you can't say that. You can't say that. No matter how many times you hear us say that to each other, you can't say that. And that's just the way it is. Whether it be right or wrong, man. Danny, that video stayed on my mind for the longest time, man. I didn't know what to do. Anthony.
I mean, I feel you on that because when it came out, and it's one of the things that I mean, she asked for it and she got it, and yeah, no matter how many black friends she got, no matter what she had, it's like yeah, somebody did not tell you, somebody you did that. I mean, when she said it, you know how many? Did you see the little white woman that was sitting over and she turned her head around like right when she said it, she turned around like. I zoomed in, and you could see the shock on her face.
But see, yeah, Dan, I think I remember what you're talking about. But that's something, man, that, like I said, that she's been allowed to say. Anthony, me and Anthony have been friends, dude, for a while. We worked together for years. Okay, I'm black. Anthony's from Hawaii. Okay, he's of mixed race. We've never called each other the N word or something like that. Never. We don't do that. We don't play with each other like that because that's the problem I think today. No, there's no boundaries no more. Everybody want to cross the boundary into saying stuff that they know they got no business, no doggone business saying. Anthony, I'm gonna let you respond. And by the way, I'm gonna tell you guys this. Anthony, good man. I'm telling you, good family man. Danny, he think he prettier than you, and so.
No, I ain't prettier than Danny. Come on now, he's putting words in my mouth now.
He think he look better than this. So
Marlo has always put words in my mouth. He'll tell you throughout everything. It's like I'm over here still a girlfriend. I didn't even know what I was doing.
Yeah.
So I ain't no pretty guy.
So, and man, Anthony, man, yeah, but I understand where you coming from, Ant, man. I just don't think it'll ever go away, man. It's too many people in high places that want to stay in those high places and keep a certain group of people down here.
Well, true.
Go ahead, Ant.
Yeah, I was watching. Matter of fact, last night, the Django Unchained. Great movie. I hadn't seen it in years. Well, I was watching it last night, and I was just thinking, like, this is how things really were. But this was 150 years ago. But not a lot of shit's changed since then. I mean, obviously technology and modern warfare and blah blah blah. But the attitudes and the mindset of certain people, that's how they still think. Mm-hmm. 150 years later, and for me, it's like, yeah, I have a white dad. He's married to my mama, who's a mixed woman. From the islands, and we got Asian descent, African American descent, and my dad's 87 years old. And when I think about the racism thing, and I wish it would go away. I wish it would, just for my kids and my grandkids. That's why all my kids are grown now. They're their own people, they're grandkids. And when it comes to, I don't know, I guess going back to, like you were saying on that video, that woman saying the N word, Marlo and Danny, yeah, I'm 18% black. I don't feel like I have that right to say that word. Yes, I understand that. Because I don't really live in a black community. I'm not around, Marlon, you're my boy, you're one of my best friends. You know that, but I'm not in that community where I feel that I can say that. Certainly it's like, and I've always heard the debate, oh, well, why can y'all call each other that, but, another, white person or whatever can't say it. Like you just said, you hit it on the head when you said, that's what y'all, that's how y'all talk to, that's how you guys communicate, talk to each other. You know what I mean? That's just it's a given thing. It's a accepted between, in your communities or whatever between, like. But I guess at the end of the day, the whole racism thing is just a bunch of just. I wish it'd go away. I just don't think it's going to. But as individuals, we can make the change within ourselves. It's like like I said, Mark, we've been boys for a long time. You're one of my best friends. I have other best friends, white guys. To me, color doesn't matter. Yes, I see the color, but at the end of the day, it's about your character. It's about your character. It's about who are the person.
I can honestly say this about Anthony, Danny. Anthony, when you looking at for a friend, man, Anthony is always been there as a friend, right? We fell out for about 13 days after the election because Anthony Republican, and I ain't talked to his ass because I ain't want to talk to him.
We ain't talking about that today.
No,
that's another subject.
Right, and so, but I mean, just man, it makes no difference what color you are, man. And if us as a people can get past that, think of the possibilities, man. Think of what we could do. Think of what we could achieve together. You know what I'm saying? We're so damn it divided nowadays, man.
Oh my God, yes. You're so right.
So damn divided that it's pitiful. So listen, man, Danny, man. Okay, what can we do as individuals in your words, real fast, Danny? As individuals, what can we do for our part to try to stomp out racism?
One of the biggest things, one of the biggest things we can do is one, respect each other and educate. One of the things where it's like, the whole thing where we're talking about, hey, white people don't say the N word and everything like that. Y'all heard me use it, and it's like one, you get educated about what the N word means, and why is it that it's not something that you want a white person to say because they use it as a derogatory term for years. We ended up accepting it because we as black people in America were not given the opportunity of our own culture. So we had to learn, and we knew us as Negroes. Okay, so that's where it's like, no, you can't use that term because it was meant as a derogatory term. And even to this day, we say it in fun sometimes and laugh about it, but I don't say it. I'll say it when I'm referring back to something that was said to me, but I don't say it.
Yeah.
I don't say it because it just means a lazy person, a lazy, bigoted, a lazy person. That's what it means.
Right.
And so one, education. Two, like you said, learning people's character. Look at the person's character and get educated and learn about accepting people for the character that they are. Color
Right.
of the skin does not matter. We're all, and just like Jane Elliott said, we're all one race. It's the human race. Period. That's all we are. We all come from, the African, the Mesopotamia area, where when you talk about it, it's like, before the flood and everything, what land did not go underwater? I mean, that's a whole biblical thing we
Yeah.
can get into one day. But it's like we came from that area, so everyone is of color. Everyone on this earth is of color. So we need to stop saying the color of one's skin makes you superior than this person and makes them inferior. We need to stop that. Um,
I agree totally,
in,
Danny. I agree. I,
in, in
I agree
just
totally, dude. Totally,
yeah.
I agree, man. Good one, Danny. Good one, Anthony. What's in your words? What's in a few short minutes? Give me what you got on how do we turn the tide on racism?
No, I agree completely with what Danny just said as far as and going back to like when you're filling out an application or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have to fill out what race you are?
Right.
It should be depending on your qualifications, and that's anything in life. As far like if I'm an employer and I'm looking at someone, why do I need to know if you're black, white, green, brown, whatever?
Right.
Like I want to see your qualifications. I want to see that you're going to make me, you're going to do the job for my company, make me the money. I don't care. As far as ending the racism thing, man, like I don't have the answer for it. I wish I did. I
Yeah.
wish I had the answer to end racism. Unfortunately, and I'll be the first to admit this. I mean, I'm a Republican. I voted for Donald Trump, and the one thing that I really, really hate is, like Danny said earlier, is a lot of your radicals are coming out of the woodworks, and they think that's what he represents. I mean, I'm not saying that personally what he represents, but I don't like what's happening as far as like we're taking back over the country and this and that. No, like I mean the reason why I like Donald Trump, and I'll just get into it briefly, is just I like his policies as far as his economics and certain things. And this is a fact. I hate to admit it, but
You're not
a lot of
Anthony.
your uneducated.
Anthony, listen. There's nothing wrong with what you're saying. That's your belief. If we can get past getting mad at people about what they believe in that for a reason.
Well,
Anthony,
it's like you said earlier. If we can get up past all this bullshit, and you take all these great minds, no matter what race, religion, creed, dude, we can do great things.
we can do great things, man. We will. I
We can
mean,
all do great things.
man.
And I agree. We can definitely do great things, and we need to have a segment just talking about that because that's what a lot of people cannot do. And I've watched it happen. I see it on Facebook. I don't care who you were voted for. I
Right.
don't care. And it's like, yes, I agree. He's got some good policies. At the same time, there was other things he said. There's other things he's done. And there's other things that's come out the woodwork, and it's like, yo, that's the problem. I don't blame anybody for being Republican. I vote Democrat most of the time, but I also vote Republican when I see that is a better person
Right.
going into the office.
Right.
So
Exactly.
Right.
I don't care, but I don't sit back and go like all Republicans are bad or anybody that voted for Trump is bad. No,
They're not.
This man did and said some things, and that's what's bad. But we can have this conversation, and actually, I think we need to do a segment on that where we can have this conversation.
Absolutely.
And it's like, this is the type of conversation we have,
Right.
because who he voted for, who Anthony voted for, is, man, it ain't gonna stop me from buying you a beer. It ain't gonna stop
Right.
me from bringing you, if you
Right.
need something, it ain't gonna stop me from bringing what you need. If I need to ask for a favor from you, it ain't gonna stop me from asking for a favor. It ain't gonna do that.
Right.
I'm not gonna end a friendship that I've had for many years because of two people going into the office of the president. I'm not
Right.
gonna end friendship.
Right.
I'm not gonna end that. It's yes, he's got some good policies. I agree. 100%. He has got some good policies. When he was last in office, that was the biggest pay raise that the military has ever got. And that was because he did it. So I have no issues with that and some of the policies, but there's other policies that he's looking at and working with. And
there's some dumb shit that he does say. I will say that.
Yes.
He says some dumb shit.
Well, listen, man, listen. You remember I just told you guys that right after the election, this is another reason why I wanted to have Anthony on tonight, my friend, is after that election, y'all just heard me say it. When I said if we can get past being mad at each other for our thoughts, well, if I'm man enough to say it, and another reason why I wanted Anthony on this show tonight is not only to apologize to my friend for getting mad at him about a vote. I wanted to apologize to my friend publicly because I was wrong, he was right. None of us should be getting mad at each other about who we vote for because we all see things different. We all see things different. At the end of the day, it's us, the people who are not high up in the office. Us, me, you, Danny, the little people who still in the struggle. So we have to stick together. Okay.
Yep.
So Anthony, man, I just wanted to. I know that's a shock to you, but I wanted to say it to you publicly, brother. I was wrong. Sorry, I apologize, man, for letting feelings get in the way.
I was never mad at you. You weren't wrong, man.
No, hell no. I was mad at your ass, goddamn.
I know you were. That's your opinion, but it's okay. I was never mad at you.
I know. Hey, after the election, I seen Anthony call me, Danny. This what I did. Goddamn, Anthony. Hey y'all, man, good conversation tonight, man. Danny, us three, we're definitely gonna do a segment on that, man, because it's important, man. Because if we can say something to change one or two people's mind, then we've done it. We've done our job.
Yes.
Okay.
That's all we're trying to do.
We've done our job. Hey man, I love you guys. Then listen, man, you're gonna have to. I tried to upgrade this Zoom. I don't know nothing about. I don't know what I'm doing. I hit a button.
Hey, I'll be honestly. Apparently, you have upgraded it because we've gone over that 30 minutes. We're way over 30 minutes. And
but it says in my right hand corner less than 1 minute. Upgrade now to Pro, and I've tried to do it. But anyway, I'm about to call you guys. Listen, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. We need you guys to subscribe, okay?
Yes,
Once again,
subscribe.
This podcast goes nowhere without you. I love you guys out there.
And let us know what you want to talk about.
Exactly. Let us know what we want to talk about. If you got questions for Anthony, Danny, me, whatever, send them on in. We love y'all guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on.
Yes, sir.